Hey, everybody. I am jumping on. Let's have this conversation. Welcome to I've Got Daddy Issues podcast after the show. So excited to do this. I'm starting to get into the swing of things and how this needs to flow. I'm so excited to do this. What, Tokyo? I hope you all are having a great evening. It is Monday night. I've got to build this audience. And let me say that as I'm building this community, it's important that you guys understand why I do this work and so on and so forth. Oh, whoops. My dog, I'm sorry. He came and sat right in my lap. I'm knocking stuff over. Okay, you need a moment. Okay. All right, while I'm on my live. So tonight I want to introduce myself to some. Some of you know who I am. Some of you are learning who I am. I am Dr. Tori J. I am your host of I've Got Daddy Issues podcast. And I'm jumping on here tonight because we keep releasing episodes and you guys are fantastic about inboxing me, whether it's on Instagram, whether you're finding out who I am and you're emailing me through the Fatherless Generation Foundation. I am so grateful for your communication. Some of you will post on the page, on the YouTube page, or you will find me through the different channels in which the podcast is on. We are everywhere you can listen to a podcast. We're there. I want to talk about, is Cam Newton right? And some of the things that we learned during that episode, digging into that, some of the things that you've learned as I build this community. I want you guys to share this. I want you to share, if you're learning anything from these podcasts, share it with your friends. Get them to come to the page. Get them to come. Sorry, that looked crazy. He wanted to get in the bed. Get them to come to the page and join the community. We're doing a lot of things around I've Got Daddy Issues. It is the new thing, the new brand. It is who I am. And I am helping fatherless adults heal. I am giving you the tools. I'm connecting the dots of your fatherless pain, your fatherless journey, providing you with the tools to heal. And I've got to provide you, connect the dots, because so many of you do not see your fatherless journey as trauma. You do not see it as pain. You do not recognize it as that. And therefore, you are going through life thinking some of the behavior is normal and it's common. You're thinking, some of you are thinking, well, what's wrong with me? Why am I doing this? How did I get here? You've got a lot of questions associated with it. But then when you watch what we're talking about on this podcast, you'll go, is that why? Could this be the reason? Could this be the thing? And let me tell you, we just finished taping 5 episodes here in Atlanta, Georgia. I'm in Atlanta this week. Here in Atlanta, we just finished taping 5 episodes. I mean, back to back to back. It was amazing yesterday. It was a lot, but it was amazing. And we taped those 5 episodes. And I'm telling you, we're bringing some heat. I had men, I had women. I had some candid conversations with men. I had conversations with some therapists, some women. We talked about narcissism. I have a narcissism expert in my midst, and she broke it down. She schooled us on some things. So just get ready for a new level of conversation. I just released this one about, is Cam Newton right? And then next week we're going to talk about child support. That one's called Run Me My Money. Is the child support really for the mother? Who is the child support for? And what is it for? And I brought women to that conversation because way too often women are the ones who are looked at or not looked at. Women are the ones who are always expressing that they need child support and what child support is and all of, and I can't do it. And so I brought 2 women to the table who they've gone through a journey with an ex and they have children and child support and all of that. It's all a part of the conversation. So I'm not releasing it this Thursday. It'll come out the following Thursday. We're doing every other week. But here's the thing. We talked about Cam Newton. Cam Newton actually said, women don't know how to cook. I think he said clean. He said, and you don't know how to be quiet, when to be quiet, and you don't know when to let a man lead. I know I don't have nobody on here right now, so because you're not expecting me on here. But as I build this community, that's what I got to do. Got to be consistent to build this community. I know we had the conversation, and I'm hoping that you've watched the episode. Once you watch this, you've already watched the episode. What were some of the takeaways that you got from that episode? I will tell you some of the takeaways that I got, even talking to my friend, Sean Lovings, talking to him. some of the takeaways were like, what? See, as women, we think one way. And as a woman who works with men, typically I've always had a lot of men in my life, meaning homeboys. That's all it's been. Um, I've had great insight because those friends would really divulge things with me. They would really share about relationships. We would really talk about stuff, right? And so I have insight in a way that I don't think most women do, but I'm still not a man. And I don't process like you guys. So there are things that I'm like yesterday during the podcast taping, said something to me. I was like, okay, whew. I couldn't even refute it. Sometimes you want to say something, be like, nah, that ain't real. No, it was real. And you felt it. And there were some things that were said in this conversation with Sean and Ronika that you could feel too. No, you just jump down. He hates it when I'm over here. I don't know why he does this. Come on. Come on. You just jumped up here, jumped on the bed, jumped down. See? And then went and got water again. So during that conversation with Mr. Sean Lovings and my friend Ronika Ward, author Ronika Ward, we learned a few things. Like, women aren't protected. And before Ronika got on there, before she showed up, we brought her in when we did just because of some logistic issues. But before she came on, I was talking about how I pray for a particular friend when I was talking about the protection and the things that I felt in marriage and the things that I didn't feel in marriage. And I realized that there are women who have been married in serious relationships, and yet they didn't feel protected. And so it became a prayer that I had for this particular friend. Like, I pray that she meets a man that knows how to cover and protect her. And then Ronika sat down and said, it was the most amazing feeling to know that a man had you no matter what the situation was. But she also knew a woman who didn't feel protected. And I've got to ask the question, is Cam Newton right that women can't cook, don't know when to be quiet, and don't know when to let a man lead? Is part of the reason that happens is because women don't feel protected. See, in order to allow you to lead, in order to let you, like to submit, number one, hey, look, I should get you got a minute? You want to jump on with me? Look, you want to jump on with me? Because this is my first time doing the after the show. So I got to build this audience. If you got time, I'm only on here for 30 minutes. So if you got time, I'm about to send you this link. But there was this real conversation that took place when I said it, and then she sits down and she says she met a woman who didn't even know what like dating really meant. And she didn't know what it was like to be protected. Look, Sean, if you're on, look, are you answering this? Because I'm about to send this to you. I'm about to send it to him, y'all. We're going to see if we can get him on here. I'm not going to send it there because that doesn't look like. Yeah, that doesn't look right. Yeah, she said she had a friend who, the same thing. And then, oh, yeah, I need you to jump on here. I want you to jump on here. If you can, if you got time. Is this you texting? Look, now I'm distracted. But that was just like part of the conversation. Like, we want women to follow us. We want women to feel a certain way. Men, you want women to follow you and feel a certain way and submit and do this and that. But she doesn't even feel safe with you. She doesn't feel protected and covered. That's not every woman. I'm going to tell you that right now. That's not every woman. But there's a lot of women out here who feel that way. And it's one of the reasons women are walking around. Sean, I just messaged you through your Facebook Messenger. If you're still able to come on, you want to jump on, and we tag team this conversation just for a few minutes. I got 20 minutes left on here. I'm totally open to do that. Oh, okay. He said I'm not dressed appropriate. I got you. I understand. So when she said it and I said it, it makes me go back to the place of this conversation that we keep hearing about: submission, submission, submission. Women need to submit. They need to let a man lead. But if I don't feel comfortable, if I don't feel protected, if I feel like I have to, like, the way Ronika said it, he had me, and I knew he had me. Men, do the women not really know that you have them? Do they really not understand? Do they really not feel that way? Do they? And maybe that's from their own trauma and their journey. Maybe they can't feel it because they've never felt it before. I did divulge the fact that I felt completely and totally, you know, covered and protected by my husband. But you want me to be candid? When certain people came around, I didn't. And it has caused an uproar in my marriage. When certain people would show up, like his family, who their intention is not always what it appeared to be. As women, we recognize, like as they say, game recognize game, game recognize game. Those who, are women, we know what manipulation looks like. We know what control looks like. We know all of these things. And there were things that were being said behind the scenes. And when I would ask my husband to take care of certain things when it came to those people, how he delivered that message outside of my presence clearly was not the proper way, because he really didn't want to deliver the message. And so in delivering the message, it comes off like I'm passive aggressive, like I'm the one who has an issue. And I can tell you right now, I know plenty of people who have an issue with how they move. And I don't ask for this information, but initially when certain things were going down, people were inboxing me things. And I was like, I'm just really not participating in that conversation, but you have a blessed day. And it was almost like, thank you for the information. I'm not perfect. And I'll have that conversation here in a moment as well. But I want men to understand that women, there's a natural thing, even when you do have a level of trauma. Now, trauma can, like, you're not gonna get that chick to submit because she's got too much trauma to submit. Like she doesn't feel safe or protected anywhere, and she has walls up and she's guarded. She's in her own prison. She can't do that. But here's most women, when they find a man who doesn't have to beat on his chest and tell you he's an alpha man, you just feel it. It's a natural feeling. It's a natural feeling. Okay, I will, Sean. It's a natural feeling. You just because you feel at peace. You feel that for the first time as a woman, especially as a Black woman. You've been in survival mode. You feel like I can breathe because he got me. But the moment he doesn't have you, the moment he lets things drop and the balls drop, starts blaming you for stuff, you're like, I'm only responding in the way that I'm supposed to respond. Because here's the thing, gentlemen. Here's the thing. You want her to cook, be quiet, and submit, and know when to let you lead. But then when you drop the ball and you make a mistake, it's now her fault. Make it make sense. I don't think that's how it should play out anyway, but I'm just talking about how you guys say it should play out. It doesn't make sense. It does not. I'm going to get on the ladies a little bit. We talked about this place of being quiet. And if I dig deeper into what I feel like Cam Newton was saying that day, I'm going to dig a little deeper right now. He talked about women don't know when to be quiet. Because when I'm hurt and I'm like trying to get you to get it right because it's really bad, I go in. And I'm not disrespectful. I did that, I want to say once, twice. I saw the look on my husband's face the one time I said something really reckless. And it just wasn't going to happen again. Because ladies, this is the problem that I see with so many Black women especially. But some of us got a little spice to us, whether we Black or whatever. Women can have spice. I saw the look on my husband's face, and I knew it was not my job to break him. Because we have a way with our words, ladies, that men don't. And so your words can tear him apart that he will never recover from. And you know it. I come from a long line of women, and I could have who do that. I could have done that in a different kind of way. And I didn't. I refused after I saw the look on his face and the anger that came. I didn't want that it's not our place. When you don't know when to be quiet, I'm going to speak to a couple of levels on this. Sometimes that means that you are using your mouth as a weapon versus a place to heal. And that goes back into your trauma. And I'm going to speak trauma on both sides. Sometimes we feel like people are this and that and they're bad people. Maybe they're just traumatized people. And instead of calling them bad, you just need to own the fact that they were traumatized. Maybe that's what it is more than they're bad and horrible people. But when I speak to the level of being quiet, ladies, it's time that you stop using your mouth as a weapon in the sense of tearing down your home. Your mouth is supposed to be a sword and a weapon, but it's to build up. It's to come after the devil who's coming after your household. Not knowing when to be quiet. Let me go to the next thing. Sometimes we tell too much to all the wrong people. There were points when my husband would think that I was talking to certain people about certain things, and I just don't. I just don't. I may be on the phone with them so I can talk and have some release, but I'm not talking to them about the situation. Some of them, absolutely not. Best friend, lover, absolutely not. How do you talk to people who can't have a successful relationship about your relationship? You don't talk to your family about your relationship. I don't do that. That's not going to happen. There's a time when you do certain things and you bring people in to try to bring healing and reconciliation. Or if the person you're with is behaving so badly, I think you do go to the matriarchs or the patriarchs of the family and try to bring something together and help when it gets really bad. But not just to be spilling information. Nah. But you also don't do this. That whole saying of what happens in this house stays in this house. That's dangerous too. Knowing when to be quiet is a phrase, right? It's when. Knowing when to be quiet. Sometimes you're not supposed to be quiet, ladies. That's the third part. Let's go into. Sometimes you have to be vocal and share that information outside of your home. That's counseling, therapist, a friend. I have a friend, Audra's been married, I want to say 33 years now. She has a very similar dynamic to my dynamic. Husband had a child before they got married, then brought her into the situation. They have a blended family. Then it was just, it was uncanny, the commonality. And that woman would tell me when I'm wrong, and she'd say, you need to go apologize to your husband right now. You need to go apologize to him. Because she was the one person I divulged everything to. She would be like, nah. And then she'd say, okay, he's getting it wrong, but I'm going to pray he gets it right. I'm going to pray for him. And she still, no matter what I share, she loves us both. No matter what I say, she loves us both. She prays for my husband. She prays for me. She doesn't go around gossiping about what's going on. And I know that about her. And I can trust her. See, you can't share stuff with people who hang up the phone with you, ladies, and then go tell your business to, girl, did you know so-and-so was going? So when Kim says you don't know when to be quiet, sometimes we don't, because our feelings and our emotions are involved. I know y'all like, oh. And let me go to this fourth thing. Sometimes being quiet has nothing to do with what you say with your mouth. And I talked about this a little bit on the show. It's about the calm and the peace that you bring to a situation. Ladies, we can bring peace to a situation. You can walk into your home and create and set an atmosphere of peace. That's quiet. Sometimes quiet doesn't mean literal silence. Sometimes quiet can actually mean peace. Let me do what I do best. Let me do this. I want to see this. I'm looking this up in a. I'm glad I did that. I kind of felt that. When I look quiet up in the Webster's 1828 dictionary, it says still, being in a state of rest. Now moving. That's interesting. Free from alarm or disturbance. Unmolested. That's interesting. Peaceable. Not turbulent. Not giving offense. not exciting controversy, disorder or trouble, mild, meek, and contented. Contented, I'm sorry. Now that gives it a whole new context. That is powerful right there. Can we stay right there for a moment? Quiet, peaceable, not turbulent, not giving offense, not exciting controversy. How many of you excite controversy in your relationships? Not controversy, disorder, or trouble. Not agitated by wind. Oh my God. As the quiet possession or enjoyment of an estate. See, quietness, meekness, peace is a state of being. It's a place of rest. Are you the place of rest for your spouse? I know there were times when I was. I know there were times when I wasn't. As Jill Scott say, I'm human. But it was my mission to be. Is it your mission to be peaceful, peaceable in your relationship? Not turbulent, not agitated by wind. And I got to go here. Unmolested. I want to look that up. Free from disturbance. Ooh. Molested means disturbed, troubled, or annoyed. To molest, to trouble, to disturb, to render uneasy. I'm about to go here. Is it your molestation? Your violation? Yeah, this is now after the show. Is it the fact that you were molested, the very thing? And yes, I have that journey. I was molested. I've done a lot of counseling, a lot of therapy to work through that. That doesn't come into my relationship. And then tonight, what I'm going to do is examine myself after reading that and ask myself, is it something subconscious? Is it still something there that I'm not aware of? That's who I am. So I want you to do the same thing. Has being molested the thing that's causing agitation in your life? It's causing you to agitate others. It's causing you not to be able to it's causing you not to be able to be a vessel of peace, to be a vessel of rest, not just for others, but also for yourself. See, this is why I'm doing the after the show, because I didn't know where that was going to go, but that's powerful. To be quiet. See, we're always talking about a man leading and a woman submitting and what that looks like, but as I'm processing this and thinking through this right now, I'm wondering, is the first place we should be going to, if we're going to be quiet and we're going to be someone's peace, should we be our peace first and learn how to heal and be quiet with ourselves? Are you always turbulent? Are you always troubled? See, those who are always troubled will always start trouble. Those who are always offended on the inside will always be offensive. I wasn't ready for this. I was not. Because I'm like, ooh, this just went someplace I was not prepared for. Just to think of the thought, just the idea of being quiet. See, we took it as, oh, he trying to say, he telling you to shut up and be quiet. No, he said, you don't know when to be quiet. That's what he said. Not I'm telling you to be quiet. Not I'm going to make you be quiet. I listen to people's words. If he meant something different, he meant something different. But when I listen to that conversation, I hear multiple layers. And that's why I went through the different aspects of quiet and the layers of being quiet. And look where we are now. See, you've got to understand that when you are fatherless, because that's who I'm talking to. When you are fatherless, the opportunity for you to be molested or have some type of sexual abuse, sexual violation in your childhood is great. I've never, I got to be honest, I don't know. I don't know that statistic. Let me see. I'm going to look it up. I'm going to look it up. Statistics. Mm-mm. Let's see what we get. If we actually get a number. Because I can't say that I've ever seen that. There are more than 42 million survivors of sexual abuse in America. That's 1 in 3 girls are sexually abused before the age of 18. Whew. 1 in 5 children are solicited sexually while on the internet before the age of 18. 30% of sexual abuse is never reported. Nearly 70% of all reported sexual assaults include assaults on adults, or including assaults on adults, occur to children aged 17 and under. 90% of child sexual abuse victims know the perpetrator in some way. I didn't know this was going to turn into a sexual abuse or molestation conversation. 38% of the sexual abusers of boys are females. Let's have a real conversation, people. And typically somebody in their family. Hello, R. Kelly, sister. Some of y'all have been sexually abused by your mothers. Did you see that video on Instagram where the girl was like, the guy asked her, what's the craziest thing you've done sexually? And she was like, had sex with a friend and her son. Wait, you mean her stepson? No, her son. She said that. She was like, it was wild. This lady was in her 40s, late 50s, or early 50s. Don't make it like I don't look. I don't even know if I'm ready to. I'm not going to read that. The sexual exploitation of female children after divorce? I'm not even ready. It doesn't give me the fatherless statistics on that. That's the problem with some of these statistics. They don't really delve into that. But I know from conversations, some of the stuff I have read, it alludes to this, that very much so. Fatherless children are more susceptible to molestation, sexual abuse, and assault, because that's what it is, than other children and children from two-parent homes. It's just what it is. And so my question to you is, tonight, as we have just talked about, is Cam Newton right from, I'm not even getting into the cooking thing, because even Mr. Sean Loving said he knew plenty of women who couldn't cook a thing. I don't even want to have that conversation with y'all. Y'all better get some recipes off of the internet. Before I got, because it was my favorite stuff to cook. But once I got married, I needed a repertoire. We got to eat 365 days out of the year, and you can't eat out all the time. My husband can throw down, okay? Who I put weight on? Throw down. He's a Southern fried chicken, make collard greens better than your grandmama's. Now, I have figured it out. I figured out the situation. I ain't without. Can throw down. Thank God. There was a tag team in that equation. I'm grateful that it was. But here's the question. Here's the craziest part of it all. Y'all can't cook a thing? Okay, let me get off of that. So the quiet and the leading, and I didn't want to go into the leading tonight. I think I was focused on the quiet for a reason. Because being quiet has nothing to do with what you say with your mouth. Now, too many of us got something to say with our mouths. Never forget being on those calls with those women. And every Sunday, she's got to keep telling women over and over again, you can't talk to your husband that way. You can't talk to your husband that way. I'm like, you're talking to your husband that way and y'all still married? Shocker. I was shocked. Every week we got to talk about how you talk to your husband. Good God Almighty. And not just one person, like the group. I eventually was like, I can't keep talking to this group. I'm gonna get on the couple calls and I'm gonna leave it at that. No offense. None. But here's the thing. Maybe you can't stop talking. Maybe you talk to him that way because you got some disturbance from molestation, from sexual assault. And I didn't know I was going there tonight. I had no idea. I allow conversations to flow, just like I do on the show. I allow them to flow. And one thing I will admit on this show, I kept going, oh, we got to wrap it up. Because nobody was giving me the time, y'all. See, let's go there. Nobody was telling me where I was at because we want to keep these short enough, but yet long enough to give you the information. I want to keep you in the conversation, right? So it's got to be short because your attention span is like that. So we want to stay around 30 to 40 minutes. And I've noticed that the 40-minute video does not get watched as much as the 20 to 30-minute videos. It's just a thing. So I'm like, oh God, we got to wrap it up. And I'm like, okay, we're going to keep going. Part of that was because no one was telling me what time I was at. Like when we taped yesterday, I made sure they knew when we were at the 30-minute mark, and I gave myself a few more minutes. But I'm going to tell you right now, I didn't know. So forgive me for that. Because it kept going, we gotta go. And then it would get so good. I'm like, no, we can stay. But anyway, quiet. In order to be quiet in the way that I think is meaningful in a relationship is you dealing with a disturbance that's already on the inside of you that has nothing to do with that relationship. And men, that goes for you as well. Too many of you are not dealing with the outside issues. You're not dealing with the pain that you experience and that you're not dealing with it. And because you're not dealing with it, you're always offended. You're the one always offended in the relationship. You're the one who's always defensive in the relationship. Have you ever thought that you're that defensive because you're protecting something? You're guarding something. When this is the person that you are, I'm going to go to marriage, you're in covenant with. And why are you protecting it? Why are you guarding it so tough? She can feel it. She's probably already dreamed it. She knows. She prays for you. There were things there are things, and I still pray. I pray. Even with the turbulent situation we have now, I still pray. I'm still going to pray. That's my mission. I'm not going to abort the mission. I don't lose to demons and devils. I don't. I do not. And I don't care what it looks like at the end of the day. I don't lose to demons and devils. Because you can see me. I ain't got none of that. I don't carry any of that with me. And people who are around me know that. So that's a whole nother conversation. Okay, so I just want you to know, we focused on quiet tonight. I hope that gives you some understanding about maybe what he was trying to say. Maybe I took it to a different place. I don't know. We'll see. This is what I want to tell you. So not this Thursday, the following Thursday, you'll see promos coming out this coming Sunday. As I talk to you about what we're doing next. And I told you, we're talking about child support. Run me my money. Well, is it your money? Whose money does it belong to? Like who money is it? Because the courts don't call it your money, mama. The courts call it the child's money. And that's one of the reasons why, and we didn't talk about this during the episode, I don't think. It's one of the reasons why when you try to cancel child support, the courts say, no, it's the child's money. It's not your money, mom. I don't think that's fair, per se. If the dad is providing, then he's already giving the child money. That's a whole nother Title 4D conversation. Because they getting money and kickback money for letting your money run through their bank account at the child support office. Anyway, that's a whole nother conversation. But we're going to continue to talk about daddy issues using the lens of hot topics, celebrity gossip, celebrity tabloid stuff, because you all watch that. You all know what's going on with everybody else, but you never tie it back to fatherlessness. And when I do this work and have these conversations, it's my prayer that you'll see something in your own situation that is illuminated from that conversation. All we do is we just talk about people who are just behaving badly on social media and we laugh about it. Like, what's his name? Blueface and the little girl he's with. Child, if that little girl ain't fatherless, Lord Jesus, that little girl fatherless. I don't know her situation. I don't know his situation enough, but I'm telling you, she fatherless. Her daddy ain't nowhere to be found. Got a whole tattoo, dude. They ain't got it on your tooth, and now you fighting them in the street. Like, child, please. I know too much about these. And once again, I watch these reality shows, and I just realized why I only watch certain ones. Because they fatherless. And I'm picking and gleaning and looking and watching and going, oh, that's a fatherless issue. They don't even know that's what that is. Have you ever noticed when you're watching reality TV that the ones who behave the worst, petty, gossipy, fighting with their words, fatherless? Y'all don't like Kenya? What is she? She had her father, but guess what? Let me go here. This is where I'm about to go. She was also motherless, and motherless is worse than fatherless. It is worse than fatherless. You hear me? These people are lacking the parental care that they needed to literally grow up. And so they haven't fully healed these things. And it can be hard, especially a mother wound. The father wound is already hard enough, but a mother wound, those of you who are watching who have a mother wound, go read the book or get it on Audible. Mothers Who Can't Love. I've been reading this book for 4 months and it ain't that deep, or it's not that long. Oh, but it's deep. And it's made it okay. It's okay. All right. So let me get off of here. Tune in. Not this Thursday, the following Thursday. Every other week, we will release episodes to you. All right. And I can't wait for y'all to see what we did yesterday. Oh, so excited about it. All right. I'm Dr. Tori J. I am your host of I've Got Daddy Issues podcast. And next time we'll get Mr. Lovings on here. Next time I'll have some people jump on here with me that have sat on the couch with me. And we're going to go from there. All right. You guys have a great Monday night. All right. Bye.